Under 6 boys teams are the sexiest age group. What the fuck, I don't know about that. Hey guys, it is Finn here, that is FYW, and I hope you are all having a fantastic day and welcome to my new series where I talk about controversial football questions around the world. I asked you guys on this Reddit football, I asked you guys on Reddit, and I got like hundreds of questions, controversial opinions on football, which I was very interested to see. And if your opinion isn't in this video, it might be in the next one because I definitely have enough questions for more than just one video. Other than that, I hope you guys are all having a beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. I hope this is when this does go out and you just sit there with a beautiful cup of coffee. Yes, it is a Ben 10 mug. Do not judge me. So what? I'm 18. I can make my own choices. And if you like this kind of video, then do leave it a like, subscribe to this channel, because I do want this channel to grow and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, as I said, subscribe if you do like this channel, share it with friends, and if you yourself have more controversial questions, please pop it down in the comment section down below. Butter Apples 512 says, Man United should stick with Ole as the manager. Okay, interesting question. Thank you for that. I do want to say it is quite an interesting opinion on that because I think many fans are actually just split on it. Do I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could do a decent job at Manchester United? I think it's very possible. It is difficult to currently say with Bruno Fernandes. We do not really know, because the problem now with Bruno Fernandes is I think that was the problem we did need to solve in this Manchester United team. And now that we've got that, we might work completely differently. I think we're going to have to wait at least a month or until the end of the season. Once the season has ended, if we are in a Champions League spot, then I'd keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If we do not stay in a Champions League place, then I wouldn't keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think it's as simple as that. If we qualify for Champions League, then yes. But I mean, even if we don't qualify for Champions League through that and we win Europa League instead, then yeah, I think as long as we're in Champions League next season, then I'll keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Liverpool could beat any Premier League team from any era. Now, do I think this is true? I think they could. Would they? I don't know. It's a very vague question on, yes, they could beat any team from any Premier League era. But I promise you, if Arsenal was in form, if they were the Arsenal invincible season, like that team, if it was like the 1990 whatever Manchester United team, if it was just Manchester City in better form this season, I mean, if we had all those teams, all the greatest Premier League teams in a Premier League, then Liverpool would not go unbeaten, if that makes any sense. I think, yes, Liverpool potentially could beat any team from any Premier League era, but I mean, so could Manchester City from last season and many other teams. Just because they could, yes, any team could actually beat any team, but it doesn't mean that it's 100% guaranteed. FPL Blade says, Atalanta manager is one of the best managers in the world. Well, I mean, statistically, yeah, that is kind of true. I mean, they've done pretty well in the Champions League so far this season. I mean, they beat Valencia 4-1, which, I mean, is pretty impressive. Other than that, he's gotten Atalanta to become a Champions League team in the Serie A, which is a very competitive league actually. I mean, yes, it's always just one-sided when it comes to who wins the title, but other than that, it's a very strong league. He himself has won, or he has gotten a team promoted to the Serie A. Other than that, I do think he's a fantastic manager. Whether he's one of the best in the world, I don't know if we can quite say that quite yet. I think he does have to manage at another team as well, or he actually almost has to win the Serie A to be one of the best managers. But you know what? I don't totally disagree with that. I think he has done a fantastic job with Atalanta. We will see, and we'll be able to fully judge that at the end of the season, seeing how far they can go in the Champions League. Story Chick 91 had quite an interesting one with saying Europa League is a great league, and I'm not going to put the whole comment there. I'm not going to read the whole comment there because I mean, I couldn't fit it on my piece of paper. But basically, they went on about saying how great it is in terms of how diverse it is, how many different countries, like random weird countries that you can get in Europa League. I think it is great because you'll see some random Serbian team play against a huge team, and it can be very, very interesting, and it gives teams a second chance that can't make Champions League to maybe qualify for the next season. Other than that, I've commented many times about how good I think Europa League is in terms of young talent. I've always referenced it to Manchester United, my team, in terms of how great it really is, because I mean, we wouldn't have played Mason Greenwood if we were in the Champions League. I mean, it's just too risky. Along with that, there's a bunch of other younger players like Williams, the left back for Manchester United. I mean, we wouldn't have given him a chance in Champions League because it's way more competitive. So therefore, I think Europa League has been great, especially with teams like Arsenal who have brought, I mean, so many good youngsters through because of Europa League. It's giving them a chance. Therefore, I mean, as you said, as the person who made the comment said, I wouldn't say it's better than Champions League, but it's very, very good, and it is a great league, and it does so many things for the football world in general. Presidente Clint says it needs to be manlier. Now, I don't know necessarily what you mean by manlier. I think you mean in context of, oh, you tug a jersey and you don't fall over and that kind of stuff, which, yes, to a degree, I do agree with you. I think it does need to be manlier, but if the rule is in play, then, I mean, I don't know, it's one of those very tricky ones of saying diving and that, because, I mean, non-football / non-soccer fans will say the fact that they don't like it because it's just acting. I mean, a player falls over and that, but they get that perception because, yes, maybe it isn't as manly. I mean, maybe it does need to be manlier. I think a rule should be getting rid of, like if you're tugging on a player's shirt, it shouldn't matter too much. I mean, it's different if you fully drag him back by his shirt, but I would say overall, maybe it does need to be manlier. I don't think you should go over with every little touch. I don't think a penalty could be given like by pulling a shirt, because we've seen that quite a few times. I think it is actually a situation where it's like, yes, you could win a penalty over it, but I mean, take the moral high ground. This person with a long name, I don't know how to pronounce it, I will attempt. Guyana's 1995, well 1995 obviously, has said CR7 is better than Messi, but Messi is more likable. Do I agree with it? I don't know. It's a very obviously tricky, I mean, that is the biggest debate of the decade in terms of football, is Messi or Ronaldo. Once again, I think that goes down to your personal preference. If you yourself are a Barcelona fan, you will say Messi. If you're a United fan, or a Juventus fan or a Madrid fan, you will say Ronaldo. Personally, Ronaldo was before I started properly watching football at Man United, so therefore I do think Messi is better, but that's just my personal preference. Instead of that big physical player, I do like it being like quite a pretty game, if that makes sense. I love how Messi is able to move the ball. I think it's a very smart way of playing football that I really like seeing him play. Yes, I mean, Ronaldo has his days, Messi has his days, and it all comes down to lots of players or lots of fans saying, yeah, but Messi has stayed at Barcelona where he isn't comfortable. Maybe he wouldn't do he wouldn't do well at a different club. We won't know unless he moves. I mean, it's hard to say whether he'll only do well in his comfort zone, but at the same time, to say Messi isn't a great player because he stayed at Barcelona where Ronaldo moved everywhere, that I don't believe, because to me, that's like saying, well, you know what, Paul Scholes spent his whole career at Manchester United, therefore he's not a good player. I mean, that is completely wrong. You can't say a player is great because they didn't. It's like Iniesta. It's like saying he's not a great midfielder because he spent it all at Barcelona. I mean, yes, he's moved away now, but you can't say because he stayed somewhere that he's not a good player. You cannot say Iniesta or Xavi for spending their whole careers at Barcelona weren't good players. Why should it be any different with Messi? Whole debate over who's better between Messi and Ronaldo, I mean, it's totally up to you. Ninja Matt has said transfers should be all year around. Do I agree with that? I don't necessarily think so. I mean, I think then it makes it almost too convenient or inconvenient then for a club, because let's say someone's injured for 3 to 4 months, now saying, oh, let's just loan in someone for 3 to 4 months. I don't think that's how it works. Or if you just want to buy a player like at just a random point in the season, I don't think it works, because I find that you have to be very tactically smart, and I feel like you have to put more thinking into it instead of saying, oh, just buy a player, just buy a player, just buy a player. You have to say, okay, now will this work for 6 months? Will this better the team in the long run? So therefore, I think personally for me, I prefer transfers the way they are now. The Dugout Football Channel, who I've done a collaboration with before, he's a Liverpool fan. We've spoken Liverpool versus Manchester United, what success means for both of us this season. I'll link that up above. You guys can click on the eye thingy. And his question is, one player from past or present that I could add to this Manchester United squad, and why? Now, I think this is quite a tricky one, because present, it's kind of weird, because it's like, well, maybe Jadon Sancho, because that is the kind of player we do need now, or maybe maybe just a really world-class centre-back or goalkeeper. It is very tricky. But you know what, Doug? I think my answer to this question might be someone like a Rio Ferdinand, who is a world-class centre-back who put everything on the line with United. And he's just, I mean, look, United fans I know love him to bits. I think he could do a serious job because we need like one of the best world backs, maybe even Vidic in that centre-back position with Manchester United, playing along the likes of Maguire. Then I think we could really go somewhere. Guys, obviously you do get more questions. I got asked quite a lot about Zidane is overrated, Maradona is overrated. Questions like that I cannot answer because that was before my time. So I cannot give my opinion on something I haven't watched before. I will not just base Zidane or Maradona purely off of their stats alone, because to be able to judge a player, you have to be able to fully watch them play and appreciate it, you know. So guys, if you have more controversial questions, do pop them in the comment section down below. And please do share this so the channel can grow. I would really appreciate it if this channel could grow. If not me, for Ben 10, I would appreciate that lots. But guys, I do love every single one of you. You are awesome, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Has been fun. FYNN. Enjoy your weekend.